Hey, so on this video, hot or not new collector coins, I'm going to be going over some of these new releases and just give my own thoughts and opinions on what goes through my mind when I see these coins and whether I'll be picking them up, whether I've been asked about them or my thoughts on them and just what I generally think about them. So starting this off, it's going to be on this coin right here. It's going to be a bit of noise going on in the background if it pops in and out. And that's going to be this South African Mint Big 5 elephant coin. Now, I saw this when it came out. I'll also talk on a few things on what went through my mind when I first saw it and the situation I've seen since I first saw it. Now, jumping straight into the design, I will say I think this design is absolutely stunning. It's a fantastic design. They've done well. I think this could easily be one of the best elephant designs I've personally seen that I like, and I really like the elephant designs. I love the elephants as well. I think they're fascinating creatures. The design is stunning, and also what they've done with the optical illusion they've done, which I'll show on the next page. They've really done real well here. I absolutely love this design. We can see the rear. So what they've done here is I believe when you put a coin on top of that, it actually creates another elephant in the center. We'll see in a moment, but it's on R1 and it's 5 rand. Sorry, it's a fantastic coin. Getting into some of the tactics I saw when this first was released and whether I'll be locking in on it. When this coin first came out, I believe I saw it on EMK's website a little over a week ago. You was able to pick this coin up for around 27 euros. That's around $30, 23 pounds. Now, testing the waters to see, because they have done this before when the first Silver Krugerrand came out. Prime example, and I'm mentioning them, deal of greed and just absolute mockery and joking. If you ask me, it's just one big joke, because you bring a coin out, and I'll get to what I mean, and you set a price. I put 10 in the basket. Around it was either 27 or 28 euros. It was nothing past 28 euros. I believe it was 28.50. And you know, you was able to purchase as many as you want, but it kept on doing its fiddly biddly business where it would technically crash and it would readjust. So it went to the point where you was only able to add 3. No, you wasn't even only able to add 3 at the time. You just couldn't get the amount you wanted. So I gave up on that and came back. That was then adjusted to 3 per customer, around the same price. I think it went up to 29 euros. Also then it was also giving you the option to only add 3. Long story short, what they ended up doing was hiking the prices up to where they currently are. And here was the issue I have with that, because at the normal sensible prices, which I believe were, you could lock in, only get 3 per customer. What they done is now the cheapest you can find this coin is 37 euros, and that is an unlimited amount. And that's the cheapest. That's around $41, 32 pounds. That's a big 10 pounds difference, $10 difference. And you can get as many as you want. That's on the lowest tier. You'll still be looking at around 39 euros, give or take $44, 34 pounds if you want to get 1 to 5. This is the exact type of dealer tactics that put me off of a coin, and I'll get on to the other parts in a minute that the mints also play. Now, I've pulled out of that, which is an absolute shame. Reason, because this, as stunning as this coin is, and I think these come on a 15k mintage, which they really want to make you know about, in this nice snazzy packaging. If you can see that, it's coming up clear on the screen. So they come in this blister encapsulated, and there's only going to be 15k. Now, the South African Mint, to me, have a track record of absolutely horrendous quality. So at those prices, the inflated prices in quantity, I pulled out. Why? Because I know what the situation is going to be. Once again, going through my own mind when I'm looking at this coin, you're going to have a situation, even with the Silver Krugerrands, you can say the normal BU coins, once again, inflated prices with the million plus mintage. They was dinged and dented about, but even on the proof coins, which I done a video of, the majority of those were terrible. I personally feel the South African Mint are fantastic at doing handsome priced gold bullion. They've been doing it for decades. I think they should stick to that. They had their one chance to show the world what they could do with silver, and it was a massive flop. The Silver Krugerrands are now selling for a fraction of the price that they first brought them out with. I think with this here on this design, they had a fantastic design. It was a great concept. It still is. I'm not bashing it just because I'm not involved in it. Remember, I think this is an absolute stunning design. I'm in love with it. But I just think they've dropped the ball, and for the price that the dealers are now doing via greed, as EMK seem to set the price in Europe, I think I'm not willing to pay that, knowing what their quality is like. The South African Mint with me have a horrendous track record when it comes to quality. I don't want to have to go through the hassle of sending these back to Europe, even just for that huffing and fuffing about, knowing that it's either going to be some type of dink or scratch. They haven't proven to me yet that they can produce the quality, say for a mint like the Perth Mint, and so I'm not prepared to pay these overinflated dealer greed prices. Nothing I can do. I'm either in or I'm out. I'm not going to wag my fist at the moon. I'm just not prepared to lock in, which is a shame. Now I think, and it's going to be the theme of this video here, the Mint also hasn't let the paint dry when it's come time for them to really start taking advantage, because a little over no time and they've gone ahead and done this. Something we haven't seen before, but you do get to highlighted see the illusion they've done when you put two coins side by side, how it gives another image of an elephant's face. And they brought out these. So once again, I know that this Mint now has no interest in just, you know, giving the customer what they want. It's all about not even letting the paint dry and just rushing out the next release. So within the same mintage that was 25k, no 15,000 for these, they now have this double elephant presentation packaging that come in a mintage of 1,000. So out of the blister, it comes in this new snazzy capsule. I believe one of the what was he now? The grading company's recently done a double slab, so this may have egged it on. But you get this, and this is grossly inflated over the original price of the silver proof, so it's ridiculous. But you know, the plus side to this is that you get it in a nice snazzy box. If I can get the box up, I don't have it. So this just goes to show, to me, some of the coins I'll be getting into in a moment, it's their new version of Pryvian. You know, when they bring out the same coin, if they'd added any type of little touch, a Privy is normally something added onto the exact same image. This is nothing different. You don't highlight the supposed low mintage and then only go bring out the exact same coin in some crazy variant that you believe warrants its own another low mintage highlight, but it's the exact same coin. You could have brought these out within the 15k in my own personal opinion, and not at such a ridiculous price. The South African Mint are infamous for really grossly overpricing their gold collector coins in these sets, and seem to be doing the same thing with the silver. If this came in gold, I'd be more than willing to take the risk. And I would want the same handsome low mintages. I don't think they could ever bring themselves to do that, as they've been taking such advantage of the golds currently with this, you know, 50th anniversary Privy mark and the likes of. But if they bring the big five out in gold, I may just have to bite the bullet. We'll get onto this coin in a moment. But currently, as it stands on the silver, just for their track record of quality control being horrendous, in my own personal opinion, I still have some of the silver proof Krugerrands. I'm not going to be in, but it's such a shame because I absolutely love this design. I think the design is absolutely stunning. But we'll see how it goes. You know, maybe they may drop in price, who knows? But on such a low mintage, you never know what they're doing on the secondary market. I don't think they're doing absolutely fantastic. Oh, it stays like that, so I can lock in. But I would want to pick these up knowing that I could either flip them for something double or the likes of. But it's such a shame. I think even what they've done here is just first. The concept's absolutely fantastic. They really nailed it there. But I just think them delivering it and dealer combined with mint greed has really just dropped the ball here. But we will see how these ones pan out. So that's my thoughts on this coin. Spent a bit too much time on that one. So getting into the next coin is going to be the infamous Gruffalo. So we've had this released yesterday at time of releasing this video, and the whole situation, I've been asked what I thought on the situation of that. So we had the B and BU, the proof, all sold out currently. I think what the Royal Mint done here was they was very smart in that they had the situations they've had, not just on the Snowman, but on all their coins. I think they're a big enough institute where they don't really need to create that type of, you know, rushing everybody through the one gate where you have the tie system. It all adds to the hype and the frenzy and, you know, I've got to have it, got to have it. With the mintage, we had the Snowman on the 15k/20, we had the extra 5. On these, we had the 25k/30, we had the extra 5k. they say, which they're highlighting as well, which goes to show they are paying attention to videos like these. Hi guys. That, you know, they wanted to do it. They've done their pricing and their mintage based off the last release that those complaining and sending them their threats couldn't get them. So they've priced them and put the mintage so they could cater to everybody. I don't think that's the case. I just feel like they done it right. They did give a heads up this time, which is another interesting thing, which I think worked out worse in the long run because people just couldn't get on. And it worked. You know, they increased the price on the silver also, so giving you nothing more. If anything, more mintage, you're paying an extra $5. And I believe they increased the price on the gold. I'm not too sure, but the gold had a mintage of 600. These had a mintage of 30k in the end of the day, and this is just what it is because it's not going to be in circulation. What I think about these, it's the same. You know, I don't really get too much into the detail. I know the Gruffalos are really rough looking individual. I know the kids like them. Whether I'm going to lock in, we're going to see. You know, I've had somebody that may have picked some up that if they pass them on to me, then I'll do a video maybe talking on that. But I think it is what it is. Is it the Snowman or Peter Rabbit? No, it's not as big as, but it can hold just as much. These 50p's coming from the Royal Mint, as I said, they're a real prestigious mint. So, you know, a lot of their stuff really hold on. It's like the American Mint or the US Mint with the Apollo coins. If it's a hit, then you've got a good one on you. But the Royal Mint seems to have a real good following on the 50p. So I think these will do good over time. They won't hit Peter Rabbit or Snowman prices, my own personal opinion. Why? Because of the mintage. You're going to have an extra 10k, where if those that do get real cowboyish on eBay, you're going to have an extra 10,000 about, where it can really, that's where it works against you on increasing on the secondary market. I doubt everybody that locked in was a hardcore Gruffalo collector. I know one of my youngest daughter really knows about this fella here, but I know absolutely nothing about them. But, you know, I don't need to like them to know. I don't think it's going to be as hot as the rest, but I think there's potential there to flip depending on what you want in return. I know somebody has done a few flips of the Era Snowman coins and he put those out on bidding. So, you know, it's all really on what you want, but, you know, there's potential there. I just don't see it as high as the Snowman or the Peter Rabbit coin straight off the bat for the minting. What they done with the tactics on releasing them was smart on their end. They was able to sell out coins that I don't think they would have sold out. If they done the same on the Paddington, I think they would have had the same type of reception. So it may be something they're going to constantly be doing now. With a 60k mintage, I think they would have had to sell out on the golds and they'd still have more silver proofs left over. Whereas now they got to sell out on both. And, you know, you got more, you know, angry collectors that was able to lock in on these if they prefer the Gruffalo over the Snowman or the recent 50th anniversary 50p. So we'll see how it goes. But with these, I don't think you can go wrong just picking them up, because you'll be able to flip for a profit, whether small or big in the long run. So the Gruffalo is what it is. So we're just going to have to see how those work out. Now, there was a few other coins, some honorary mentions I'll be getting into now. And this is going to be let's jump into the Germanias as we first off. With these, following off from what I was just mentioning on the South African Mint when it comes to dealer greed, I think with a lot of these private mints, they have an advantage over these governments like the Royal Mint and the US Mint, for instance. They can't just drop coins any day, you know, willy-nilly and, you know, really pump out as many designs as they can. Say, for instance, a good private mint, for example, Scottsdale, they're dropping coins like they're hot. Then, you know, every day they've got a new release out. I think the Canada Mint's able to do that also. They do a lot of licensed stuff. But on these private mints, they have that advantage of being able to drop technically whatever they want, whenever they want. So they can really play the game to a collector's hand. The downside I see with the Scottsdale Mint is that I've always said their designs are stunning, but they don't go on to do fantastically well in the secondary market. That's just my own personal opinion. So when you have basically a private mint with somewhat of a hit on their hands, the first thing they need to do to create buzz is reach out to people like myself or other cowboy collectors and just mention a low mintage. And that's what happened with these Germania coins. People thought they was done by the German Mint or whatever it was in the beginning, find that it was a private mint. They came out on the 25k. Now here's my issue with that, and this is exactly what I was just mentioning on the other ones. When they bring out these coins, I've been asked a few times about these. I think it's the World Money Fair. So they done these in this big neon color, blue, and then another like other colored. I think these colored they are what they are, personal preference. Once again, this is just another form of bullion. There's no difference to me. If you've brought the coin out as a private mint, you've highlighted the low mintage. These are on 25k. A prime example of somebody that does it right, and this is why I really back them, is the guys that done the Rwandan Lunar series. This is a private mint that brought the coins out. They mentioned they highlighted, and this is what they all do. They over highlight the low mintage and they deliver, and then they stop. They let the paint dry and they wait for the next release. These guys, including the South African Mint, highlight the low mintage. Don't even wait for the paint to dry and then pump out different variants. That's a horrible sign for me to steer clear of coins moving forward. I saw that on the Comsco mints. I believe it was on the Warrior coins, and then they brought them out in fractional gold, different sizes, different variants. These are all new forms of Peruvian to me that I personally won't be partaking in. The paint hasn't even dried. You can still pick up the Germania coins in Europe for fairly decent prices. And now they're bringing out new variants. I've had a few people contact me. Yes, they've been very excited that they brought out this variant on, you know, a much lower 500 mintage. It's the same coin. All you're technically doing is pushing up the overall mintage. I know, yes, it's only a small 1,000, so the 25k can turn to 27k, but they're doing this for their first release. You could set a good example and really get a strong following from the first, not start privy pimping and then doing all types of things. What's next? We get the smaller sizes. And this is why I'm not really following. A lot of these private mints have the opportunity to take absolute advantage. If this is an absolute massive hit, it's only a matter of time before APMEX brings out an exclusive on the smaller golds and all of this. And once again, why I praise the Maya Mint or the guys that do the Rwandan coins and even the wildlife coins, because they stuck to one size, one mintage, and haven't pimped and brought out different variants. It's on a very strong release, a Lunar series. Perth held the crown for a long time, but they had so many different variants out. These guys came along, nice mosaic designs, and you're getting one, and that's that. You know, you have your unlimited mintage, then you have your capped mintages, and that's that. With these, one, I don't even know what the quality is like. Two, I'm just not feeling them. So that's my thoughts on that there. Exact same thought on these here. I've been asked in the comments a few times about these. Yes, both coins look fantastic, but it's no different. You're just getting some form of privy here. Whether it's, you know, on these guys, Comsco, I'll steer clear of if you're backing them already, because when they start bringing out these on such high mintages, it's technically a privy coin they're bringing out on such a high mintage. I remember once upon a time the Perth Mint would bring out the Lion Privy on a lot of their Lunar coins, and the mintages was a lot lower. At that time, everybody thought, even on the Kookaburra privies, these were better than the original coins, and technically they was just the original coin. It's only a select few that really buy into them, and some of these privies can really be sold for a high premium. So, you know, who knows, but they just don't take off well, and then it's really a gamble on how well they'll do as time goes by. So when you're bringing out coins from the beginning and you're doing these types of tactics, and to wash it down with your mint has a reputation of horrendous quality, I'm out. But I would love to know, everybody that's locked in with these, if you're holding or you've done quick flips, how well they're done. I personally think in the long run, it's going to be a lose-lose for whoever's holding on to these in the long run. But it'll be great to hear your thoughts and opinions on these coins that I've mentioned. Did you lock in? Will you be locking in? And do you think none of these things make a difference? Because I've heard a lot of buzz on these. I believe you have the bright blue one also and another coloured one. I will just have to see how well it goes. I mean, for them, they was able to pull this off, and it only needs individuals to lock in, and then believe when you get the second one, you'll be getting more variants and more sizes. So you're really buying into the abuse that they're giving. As a private mint, they've got no restrictions. Just take that into account, because they will be using that as a power play at some point and just really milking out the designs. I believe the Comsco took their time before they started churning them out and just diluting and destroying their series, if you ask me, quite a few of them. But it'd be fantastic to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on these new releases. Have you locked in? Will you be locking in? What do you think of these? If these come out in gold, it would be the best of both worlds, but I know they will be charging an arm and a leg. But I really do like the design, so we'll have to see how it goes. I think the 5 animals are going to look fantastic. They've done a fantastic start, so I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments. So go ahead and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you guys in a rebound.